So I was born November 3rd, 1997. My parents had always said that they had lost their virginity the day they got pregnant with me. Sure you did. I had a good childhood. I was a tomboy who always knew how to get myself dirty, and I was an only child. I spent most days with my grandparents while my parents worked all day, and my grandpa had a little old Cherokee airplane, so he would take me with him on little trips to cool places. When I got old enough to look after myself, I didn't see my grandparents as much, so I spent most days trying to figure out how to occupy my time until my parents got home at 6. Then, in 8th grade, I had a crush on a boy, and my best friend had said both her and my crush were going out for track after school. So I became a high jumper just like my friend. Back then, track was just something fun to do after school to occupy my time until my parents got off work. But then in 2011, my great uncle was diagnosed with lung cancer. He was a marathoner, and in 1980 he qualified for the Olympic trials, but broke his foot a week before the race. When he passed, my family decided to run his favorite marathon, the Bayshore Marathon in Traverse City, Michigan. That was the day everything changed for me. I was so inspired by him and his pure grit that I decided I was going to get serious about running in his name. But I didn't want to just be good at running. I said if he qualified for the Olympic trials, then I will qualify for the Olympics itself. Now, I was never one of those kids who just started out fast. In fact, I was terrible. So where did I think that becoming an Olympian would be possible? I don't know. I ran a 308-800 and a 657 mile. So yeah, nothing impressive there. But that 657 mile won conference. And when I won conference, one of my teammates said he was going to join this running club and that I should too. So as you could probably guess, I did. This was the next step that changed everything. I met Aaron Cox, the coach. I remember telling him I will become an Olympian someday. And bless his heart, the things that probably went through his head when this high school runner that had never even broken 3 minutes in the 800, let alone be able to run a sub 2 to even qualify for the Olympics. But he would just smile and say, "Let's get to work then." He took me from running a 308-800 to running a 227 in just 2 years, becoming the first female to qualify for state for my school. After high school, I did go to college, but my college career was brief. I had gone to Ferris State, but after a year, I realized it just wasn't the right fit for me. So I came home, went to community college, and kept training by myself. My old club coach had moved 3 hours away, so he wrote me workouts and I did the rest. Coming out of college, I had only improved my time by 4 seconds, but there is magic in what hard work and the right training can do. That year, I dropped my time from a 2:23 to a 2:14, but that's not where it stopped. The next year, I ran 2:12, and in 2019, I ran 2:08.96, my fastest time to date. I was on a roll. I started 2020 with my fastest indoor season ever, but then COVID happened. All races were canceled. Everything was canceled for the year. The past 2 years have been tough. With all of the stress COVID brought, I threw myself into my training and I couldn't figure it out at the time, but I was overtraining to the point that I dug myself into a hole. So my running started going downhill as it should. I went through a year and a half of back and forth with this. One of the struggles of not having a coach there to physically see you in your workouts is not knowing when you're doing too much. So at the end of my 2021 track season, I decided to make a change. I found myself a new coach, a teammate, and an athletic trainer to help build my body back up and keep me healthy. And that leads me to now. I've had a great year so far. I ran a 2:11 this indoor season right before straining my hamstring. So I spent the last month rehabbing that, but I am now back and I'm on my second week of running and I'm feeling great. So the world champs are this year. So my goal is to run a 2:02 to qualify for the trials and try to make it.